people who were here at the beginning by order of seniority. Anyway, I'm going to move very quickly. Hopefully we can cover a few subjects here in a short period of time. There are 160,000 estimated abandoned hard rock mines in the West. I know you have some familiarity with this issue. 33,000 have been identified as causing environmental issues, so water pollution, other degradation. Do you have a budget to deal with these on federal lands?
I understand that there is the Abandoned Mine Claims Act or something like that that does provide fees.
You try to find a responsible operator and then extract funds from them.
Exactly.
Or they no longer exist. So you don't have a substantial budget, though, to begin a major cleanup of these problems.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I'd like to know if the administration would support a proposal that the federal government join every other American and Native American landowner and most other countries in the world in assessing a royalty for the extraction of hard rock minerals.
That's certainly something I don't know much about, Congressman, but I'd look forward to doing that. I share your concern about the abandoned mines and the impact on water quality.
And we could dedicate the funds raised for those reclamation projects, and at such a time, if we ever finish that, then we could discuss whether we want to continue the royalty or defray the deficit with it. Thank you. Then I mentioned earlier in my opening statement about the fact that there's some controversy on the committee. You did address the gentleman from Virginia on the East Coast issue, mid-East Coast, on opening up major new areas for offshore oil drilling in the lower 48 and off Alaska, while we have 55 million acres, 25 terrestrial, 30 million in the oceans that are not developed. Would you support a policy to provide more incentives to look at and utilize the existing leases before engaging in a broad new leasing program?
There are many lands that are available for leasing, and I mean that are available for development that have been leased, and we certainly are encouraging people to develop those lands or to give up those leases if they no longer want them, so that we can put them back in the pool. And I think that there are lots of opportunities to develop what is currently leased before we lease other areas.
Okay, I'd love to work with you on that. And then there's a major mine proposed at the moment. I believe it's an EPA issue, but I think it'll be an interior issue also, the Pebble Mine in Alaska. Sorry. No, Don. Oh, is it state land? Okay, all right, well then it'll just be EPA. So. All right, I'll just ask the EPA administrator about it. Thank you, Don. Don is always good at correcting people. In any case, if there is jurisdiction, we'll discuss it. Don says there isn't, I'll believe him. Then in the last Congress, this was the first Congress in which we did not pass a bill to create a single new acre of wilderness since the Wilderness Act. I know that there's been some criticism on that side of the aisle of the President using the Antiquities Act to protect some special areas. There were 24 bipartisan wilderness bills proposed in the last Congress. Do you think the President would rather continue to single out things with the Antiquities Act, or would he perhaps be amenable to signing bipartisan wilderness bills that are put forward by the Congress?
I think there's no question that the President would support Congress's desires as it relates to legislation on wilderness, and things that come up from your districts, from your states that are important to you as it relates to wilderness, national parks, and otherwise is certainly the course of action, and that is the authority vested in the legislative branch.
Okay, thank you. One quick last one. We really haven't updated our fine structure for oil and gas companies who violate regulations. Do you support an update of that fine structure?
I am not familiar with the fine structure,
okay. Well,
so I'll have to look into that.
We'll be happy to share concerns and educate you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Duncan.